Hey there guys, BlackPanthaa here, welcome. It's been a while. So what I thought I'd do today is literally do another What's New with the Crew. So in this episode we're going to be talking about a couple of things that were announced. Nothing majorly important unless you're looking for a console beta. Yes, I'm sure you are. So the next console beta is going to launch on the 6th of November. That's on a Thursday and finishes on the following Monday, so November 10th. So it gives you a few days to explore the US on your PlayStation 4 and Xbox One as you did before. So this is only a console beta. If you're not on a console, a PS4 and Xbox One, you won't be able to have beta access and you'll have to pick up the game. That's your next chance of being able to actually play the game, obviously, unless you've got some kind of expo or something to go to. Anyway, there's been several changes since the last beta. I would go over them, but at the moment I do not have the changelog. So once I do have the changelog, if there's anything significant that I wish to talk about, I'll be sure to do so. In the last beta, there was an NDA. In this beta, there is not. That means you can record videos, just live stream it, pretty much do everything you weren't allowed to do in the last beta, and you know, share it with your friends and show off that you've got this. And what I'm interested in is to see if SharePlay on the PlayStation 4 will allow my friends to actually play my game for me and that sort of thing. That would be pretty cool to try out. So expect some experimentation videos, especially on the drifting, because the physics apparently changed in the last beta, which I didn't really check out a lot last time. If you haven't registered for the beta, I'll leave the link in the description. If you want it, it's thecrewgame.com/beta. Now for something for the PC guys, this is going to be some awesome news for you guys if you've been looking towards getting 60 frames a second on this game, and obviously if your PC can run this on the best settings there are. So, optimal settings that I'm going to list in a minute are if you want to run the game at 60 FPS. The obviously recommended settings are going to be what you need to run it on the highest settings at 30 frames lock. Yes, you can run the game at 60. So, one thing to state that you will 1,000,000% need a 64-bit operating system, and that is because the minimum requirements for the RAM are 4 GB, and obviously you're not really going to get the full proper 4 GB of RAM when you're using a 32-bit operating system. If you're not on a 64-bit operating system, I'd suggest you upgrade now, even if you're not even bothering to pick up the game on PC. Like, seriously, how far behind are you? So what you'll need is Windows 7 Service Pack 1, you'll need an Intel Core 2 Quad CPU at 2.5 GHz, AMD Athlon 2 X4 at 2.6 GHz or better, 4 gigs of RAM, NVIDIA GeForce GTX 260 or the AMD Radeon HD 4870 with 512 megabytes of video RAM, obviously. So those are the minimum requirements you'll need to play the game on the minimum of the low settings. So there's that. And the recommended settings, you will need Windows 8 or 8.1, which I recommend you should do. If you've been holding back, you should go there. But I'm sure it'll work with Windows 7, don't you worry. Intel Core i5 750 at 2.66 GHz or the AMD Phenom 2X4 at 3 GHz or better. You will need 8 gigs of RAM. You'll need NVIDIA GTX 580 or an AMD Radeon 6870 with 1 gig of VRAM. So, as you can see, they're not that high if you really consider looking at some of the other games coming out this generation. The only really high thing you need there is obviously quite a decent end graphics card to get the best settings, but not many people are going to do that. And you need a quad-core CPU, and it says Windows 8, but obviously you don't need Windows 8 to get the best settings. It's just kind of one of those suggestions as it works on Windows 7. Now for the optimal settings, this means you can run the game at 60 frames a second. You need Windows 8 or 8.1 at 64-bit, obviously, Intel Core i7 at 3.4 GHz, AMD FX 8150 at 3.6 GHz, 8 gigs of RAM, NVIDIA GeForce GTX 670 or the 7870 from AMD with 2 gigs of VRAM. Now, my GPU actually sits up around there. My CPU is, I would say, in range with that, not as high as you know it really requires, but I think I'd be able to get to the optimal settings if I really wanted to. And obviously, you can look at a list of supported cards. It supports all the GTX and the R7 and the R9 series and such, and tells you what kind of drivers you need. But I'll link everything that I've gone over so far in the comment section and the description even below. also this week, along with the announcement of the specs required for the game, they also told us about visual enhancements available on NVIDIA-based GPUs. Now, I'm an AMD guy, so this means I won't be able to use these features, but it's some nice features that obviously are worth the mention. So, you've got NVIDIA HBAO+, which is ambient occlusion, which means more realistic, you know, and sharper shadows, improving the contrast of the game, and it actually doesn't affect the frame rate they stated in the video. So if you want to see this video yourself, you can check it down in the comments. So it's a pretty awesome feature. From playing on the AMD version, obviously putting the anti-aliasing on and putting a higher ambient inclusion and such does affect performance, but it would appear that it has less of an impact and helps actually improve the performance if you go with the NVIDIA options, which is awesome. Bit of a shame though for the AMD guys, but hey, it's how these things work. And it's also got the NVIDIA TXAA, which is anti-aliasing, so there's that as well. So that's pretty much everything for this What's New with the Crew. If you did find any of this information useful, please hit that like button. Let me know down below, what platform are you getting the Crew on, and are you more excited than ever? If you're going to be on the console beta, maybe I'll see you on the roads. Thank you ever so much for watching this video, guys. Peace.
Oh, I still have a chance. I still have that slight chance.
No!
Yeah,
No!
BlackPanthaa series has rolled.
You guys absolutely mess up.
Thanks for that push, Nick.
No!
Come on, Lamborghini power!